That says we're good. Let's verify here. Why? I hear my husband playing video games downstairs. Okay. Like I say, I see in Restream that we're going. Why doesn't YouTube say we're going? Dun, dun, dun. One more time. Do you see it? Am I just blind? Is it bad on my end? Okay, there we
Yes,
go.
we are
All
okay.
right, we're good. Okay. Fabulous. Let's hurry and share
Two
this
extra
out.
folks.
Oh, goodness.
Maybe.
Okay, shared to Twitter.
Sweet.
Hello, hello to anyone in the comments.
Welcome, chat.
Yes, welcome, chat. All right, so let's go ahead and let's talk about the book first. Then I'll have April help me with my giveaway winners because I want this to be completely impartial. So April will be picking random numbers. So
Sweet.
for the month of July, we read Last for a Name by Jessica Corey. Do you want to give a description, April, or would you like me to do that?
Go for it.
I know your voice is kind of like in and out, so I'm
Yeah.
happy to. So essentially, this is an Anastasia in space retelling. We primarily follow, what's the name? Stacia. That's what she likes to go by. So we're following Stacia, and Stacia is a beautiful girl who lives on this planet. Her best friend is a non-human. His name is I've read so much since then. She
Yeah,
has
no.
she has two best friends. She has Cleo and she has Pole. Pole is a fantastic guy, and Cleo is very mysterious. That's all I'm going to say about Cleo right now. And what happens is essentially this man comes to her down to like take over because they're looking for the last of this family, the typical Anastasia kind of trope. And that's where we go from there. Her and Pole hop on a spaceship and run away into the night, essentially. And from there, it is an epic space opera style adventure with lots of politics, lots of amazingness, and a little bit of a romance thrown in there. And thankfully, the romance wasn't like super heavy handed or super cringy for me, at least.
Right.
I thought it was very well handled, especially for a young adult novel. Because I feel like in YA, romance is so heavy handed and almost like forced into stories. This one felt very effortless, very slow burn, not pushed. It was great that way. So, April, why don't
Well,
you give some thoughts?
yeah, no, and I completely agree about the romance because throughout most of it, Stasia is like, I don't have time for this. This isn't the point of everything right now. I've got too much to deal with. You can't know. This is my wall. Don't go past my wall. And I appreciate that because I understand that when I've got a task, that's the first thing in my mind. I'm not worrying about a romance or anything like that. But you could still feel the undertows of it, and I really liked it, especially since there were thank you, dog. Especially since there were select moments where you got to see this beautiful thing start to unfold.
Exactly.
But another thing I have to give this story props for is the fact that the science made sense.
Exactly. So many times, especially in
Uh-huh.
young adult sci fi, the science like aspects of it just are thrown out the window. You just have to suspend disbelief and just believe whatever they're throwing at you. But this one actually had like logical steps and sense into how their science worked. And it was
Right.
fantastic that way. It all like
Mm-hmm.
made sense. And
So
then,
so there was points where I'm like, I can get into this story because I'm not being pulled out by all these little like, no, that's not how physics works. Like that
exactly.
doesn't make sense. So it had a little bit of this Doctor Who vibe to it,
It
which I
so
really
did, which
appreciated.
I
Mhm.
It's like Anastasia meets Doctor Who. That's probably the best
Yeah.
way to pitch this
Uh-huh.
book to people. Because that's really,
Mhm.
it had that almost time travel-y, but it's really just like planet travel-y feel
Well, then,
to
and then you
it.
have the different like alien species, well,
Uh-huh.
alien species, and the genetic offsprings of humans who have adapted to different planets. So you get to see
Exactly.
all of those different features, and they developed in a way that made sense, not just like, oh, cool, if they were purple, it would be awesome kind of deal.
Right. I completely agree with that. Like everything about this book not only fell into the original story it was taken from, but it fell into something actually realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, in Brightly Burning, we had all the Jane Eyre elements there, but they didn't fit because it was in space.
Right.
But with this, it all fit. Every bit of it fit. Like, even having names like Czar rather than being a czar and things like that. Like, Corey took a lot of attention to detail in the way she chose to tell this story. And that made my heart just soar. I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. This has been one of my favorite reads that we've done for the book club this year. This one and A Curse So Dark and Lonely, I think, have been my favorites.
I completely agree.
Okay,
And I
so.
have to say,
Uh
I
huh.
think my favorite part is probably Cleo's, the
How
part that Cleo did.
Cleo.
Mm-hmm.
Cleo in this story is definitely the part that I didn't exactly see coming. I love how that played in. I mean, it was there, but I was so wrapped up in the other elements of the story that Cleo playing a part the way that Cleo did was wholly like just this pleasant surprise for me rather
Mm-hmm.
than being this super cliche thing. It didn't feel
Right.
cliche, you know?
Right. Well,
I
because
mean,
there's a point where, yeah,
it's not
there's a point where
unoriginal.
you're like, you could go this direction with it, which would be typical YA, and I would not have been thrilled with it at all.
And
But
she
then
went,
it veered
phew.
off into this direction, and I'm like, I should have
Thank you
seen
for
that
this refreshing
from
breath of
like
air.
this page right here, and I didn't see it until they started hinting over here,
Right.
and I like it.
Exactly. Because they do intentionally lead you down a certain path in the story. And then it's
Mhm.
like, but this is the path we're going on the rest of the way. And it's like, oh, I like you. Keep
Uh-huh.
going. I like this. I opted to buddy read this with Lindsay over at Lindsay Tut. Her and I were reading this together.
Oh yay!
And we did like 50 pages a day. But the last day we're both like, let's just finish it today. And so we totally did. It was fantastic. And we just chatted the whole way through. Let's see. I'm going to go to my tabbies. Oh, the moment where Paul like has his moment where he like ages up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like the tension that she wrote through that, I was just like, yes, please, give me
Yep,
more.
yep, yep.
I need
That was
this.
one of my moments that I'm like,
And
I'm mad
see,
about the romance, but still,
yeah, exactly. It was like, okay, I'm on board with this now. Thank you very much for giving me that. And then let's see.
Can I help you, Pupper?
And the comment later about after he'd been injured and she comes in and the doctor says, you're bad for his blood pressure. I laughed so hard. It got a tabby. Just because in life, I think like when your partner enters the room, like I feel like my heart pitter patters still when my Steve enters a room. So I just thought that was a nice little touch. I'm sure it does for you and Jeff as well.
Oh,
Let's
always.
see. Da, da, da. Oh, and then this was another romance one, not intentionally, but it's that moment where she puts in the line about how his horns shine in the starlight, and he looks at me like I am air and he cannot breathe. Like just the way she wrote those feelings and stuff, and like how he looks at her, I was all about that kind of stuff. I was eating it up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh, and then the next tab is the moment where Paul has to tell Stacia about Cleo. That moment, like, I was so conflicted because I was sad but relieved at the same time, you know?
Yep.
because she had that hanging over her so much. I'm trying to speak in somewhat generalities. I don't want to completely spoil everything, and we're usually really bad about that. I'm trying to be a little bit better because I really want everyone to read this if they haven't. But yes, so that was just a moment I was living for.
Mm-hmm. So, as a retelling, this was beautiful.
So well done.
Writing, it was wonderful. As character development, it was glorious.
Uh-huh. This one did everything right for me. Like, every little bit of it was just what you want in a good young adult space opera. And a good retelling for that as well. Like, it was so, so good. So good. So yes, I stand. I'm here for it. Everybody needs to read this.
Do it. Do it.
Yes, it's if you haven't, definitely pick it up. And yeah, like I don't really have much more to say. I could sit here and fangirl about it for hours, but
it's true.
Yeah, I don't think that's what everybody wants.
Most of my highlights are like of where Ryan, which is another one of the characters, where he's sitting there and he's explaining all the different things that he can do, the tessellate and all of that.
Yeah, and that was really interesting to learn about all of that.
Right. Well, and every time they use like tessellate and all of that, I kept on flashing back to what is that book where you're tesseracting?
A Wrinkle in Time.
Thank you, A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you.
And see, I started thinking about actually The Reckoners by Brandon Sanderson because they have the little Teslers that they like move the underground rock and stuff with too. So
oh, true. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so for me that was like closer because it's actually like powers that you're using. And so that was just...
It just goes to show you the research that was done in the actual science part of it.
Exactly, because the fact that it's consistent through multiple different kinds of stories and with actual science, it just... It was so good. Oh. But yeah, Ryan was a really interesting character. We haven't really talked about him very much at all.
Yeah.
But he was more like kind of the witch of the bunch, I think is just the easiest way to kind of describe how he would fall in a more broad sense. But I really liked their culture and how they handled everything that was going on.
They were very Vulcan.
Very. Oh my gosh, yes, very. It's like clear cut, this is how life is. No gray area. It's black and white. No emotion involved. Like,
yeah.
It was just...
that was also some of the Doctor Who stuff that was pulling. They reminded me a lot of the High Council.
I didn't even think of that. Oh my gosh. That's fantastic. So good. There's, like I say, that's just one of the best ones that we've read this year. It's just all around as a whole, as a book, as a retelling, all of the parts were right for it. It fit. All right, so before we talk about what we're going to read in August, let's go ahead and do the little giveaway moment. So I've counted up all of the people. So April, pick a number between 1 and 51.
I'm going to go with 36.
36. Okay. So let's count down from the top. 36. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Scroll down. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, right?
Yes.
Brina Tuck is our winner. Woo, Brina, you win manga starter pack. 'Cause you're awesome and we love your face. All right. So, next on the list is for the Smutty starter pack. April, pick a number between 1 and 7.
Oh.
Everybody wanted manga.
We are going to go with 3.
We're going to go with 3. 3 is Lindsay Tutt.
Yay!
Yay, Lindsay, you win! All right. So, Brina and Lindsay, DM me. We will get your stuff sent out to you as soon as I have your addresses. That's like on my list of stuff to do tomorrow. So, yay, winners! That was so fun. I'll DM them too, so to make sure that they know that they won. So, let's see.
All anybody can see is your ears, dog. He doesn't care.
Oh, someone thought of the Tesseract from Avengers too. I didn't even think about that.
Uh-huh.
All right. So, that's the wrong window. I want this window. All right. So, do you want to talk about next month's read or do you want me to?
Oh, goodness. Do I remember what next month's read is? I know we just decided this, like,
we decided this one and September.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I honestly can't remember.
Okay. I have it right here, so we're good.
Okay,
the next one is The Evil Queen by Gina Showalter. Oh, yeah. Which is a, Evil Queen from Snow White retelling. Mm-hmm. We are really excited. Lindsay and I have decided to buddy read it again. If you guys want to join us, I'm happy to share the page breakdown because Lindsay and I are just on a roll with buddy reads. We've buddy read like 2 or 3 books already, and we've got like 3 or 4 set up for August. So We're just on a roll. If you guys want to join us, I'm happy to share our breakdown with you. We're going to start on the 7th of August. So people have recoup time after Reading Rush because we're all reaching that Reading Rush burnout because it's real. And yes, so I am really excited. If you want, I will read the description very quickly for people. At least the first paragraph of it because I don't like too many spoilers. So
hook you in.
Welcome to the forest of good and evil, a dream come true and a living nightmare. Far, far away in the realm of Enchantia, creatures of legend still exist. Magic is the norm and fairy tales are real, except fairy tales aren't based on myths and legends of the past. They are prophecies of the future. So I think this is going to be real fun. Mm-hmm. And on the back...
You always gotta love those stories.
Yep. On the back it says, in the forest of good and evil, every hero is a villain and every villain is a hero. It just depends on who you ask. So I think this will be fun. I think it's going to be more like a reimagining than a straight like retelling, but I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, so, and it's probably going to be a little bit more romance heavy then.
Probably. Usually Evil Queen ones tend to focus on the romance part because that's what ends up turning her later. Sorry, say that one more time.
That's usually her style too.
Yeah, Gina Showalter style for sure. I mean, she has a whole like smutty romance series, which I love and adore. I love that Lords of the Underworld series. I eat that crap up, but
I got a couple of them.
You do?
I do. I've read a good handful of them.
There you go. Not all of them are created equal, but man, the last couple have been really super good. But anyway, so yeah, that is our quick live stream to wrap up the Tell It Again live show. We were going to make it a bigger party because my birthday's on Thursday, but we're both tired. So, woo! There's my party celebration.
Yeah. I think we underestimated how much the Reading Rush
would tire us out. Yeah. And April's been sick on top of it, so I just appreciate that she was still willing to do it today. I mean, I would have pushed it back a week if she needed and stuff, but yes. So the next live show will be on April's channel because we do every other, and I believe that's the 25th.
That sounds right.
That sounds right to me, too.
I pretty much agree to everything right now.
Yeah, it's the 25th. And it'll be the same time we do it, always on the last Sunday of the month at the same time, just to make it easy for people. And thank you guys again for coming and checking it out. We really appreciate you guys coming by and hanging out with us. And congrats again to the winners. I will DM you both. And thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye.